If this video popped up on your feed, it means one thing. You're not satisfied with the path that's been laid out for you. You don't want to settle for the slow climb. You want to hit $10,000 per month and you want to do it fast. And trust me, I get it. I've been exactly where you are right now. I've done it all. Drop shipping, SaaS, SMMA, even the corporate 9 to 5. At one point, I co-founded a SaaS company that raised over $1 million, only to realize it wasn't scalable and had to shut it down. I tried drop shipping, I dumped thousands into ads, barely making anything back. Went the safe route, got a finance job, making $7,000 a month, and I hated every single second of it. Then I went all in on SMMA. I scaled my agency to $70,000 per month, only to realize the business model was completely flawed. So I shut it down, because here's the brutal truth. The online business space, as you know it, is broken. Every so-called guru is preaching business models from 2017, strategies that might have worked years ago, but now are completely obsolete. And if you're just getting started, well, good luck. The internet is flooded with outdated advice, misinformation, and flat-out lies that keep you running in circles. And that's why I decided to make this video. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to show you exactly how to hit $10,000 per month in 2025 in the fastest time possible. No fluff, no BS, just real actionable strategies that work right now. And by the end of this video, you'll know the only business model that actually works in 2025, how to start it from scratch with no experience and no connections, but most importantly, what to pivot into if you're stuck in a business or job that's going nowhere. So if you're ready to stop wasting time and start making real money online, let's get into it. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Bernardo. I studied finance and management at Warwick and Oxford. I co-founded a SaaS startup, and I then went on to work in asset management at Vanguard. And within months, I knew the corporate life simply wasn't for me. So I did a full 180. I quit my job and I launched myself into a cold email marketing agency. At first, it worked. We had big name clients, Shell, Foot Locker, Montblanc. Everything changed. Suddenly, client acquisition became a nightmare. We were sending thousands of cold emails a day, running ads, sending cold DMs, doing everything right, yet we were only booking 4 to 5 calls a week. Even with social proof, even with insane case studies, the market was saturated, which made it impossible to predictably sign clients and scale. We were fighting for scraps, competing with agencies willing to undercut us to the day. I was lucky to have built my agency at the tail end of SMMA's golden era. But for anyone starting now or still running an agency, it's an uphill battle. I knew I had to pivot. I needed a business model that actually scaled. One where I could leverage my expertise in marketing and sales without the headaches of running an agency. And I found it. So I shut down my $70,000 a month agency to start a new business from scratch. And now, this business is on track to hit 8 figures in 2025. I'll reveal what this is later in the video, but first, I need to show you the real opportunities available right now. Because if you're serious about making money online, you need to know what actually works today. So, let's break it down. Number 1, a job, the safest option. I get it. Not everyone has the stomach for risk. So if you want predictability, then a 9 to 5 is the easiest way to get to $10,000 a month. You go to a top university, you land a high-paying job in finance, consulting, tech, and within a few years, you're pulling in 6 figures. Even if uni isn't your thing, you can learn a high-income skill like coding, and you can get to 50, 60K a year in a junior dev job. You stick with it, you climb the ladder, and eventually you'll cross that 10K a month mark. Sounds great, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. Because here's the catch. There's no time freedom. You're glued to your desk 40 to 50 hours a week. There is no location freedom, so say goodbye to traveling whenever you want. And there is no financial upside. If you're okay with trading your life for a paycheck, this path works. But for me, that was never an option. And if you're watching this, you probably feel the same way. You don't want just a good salary. You want control. You want freedom. And for that, entrepreneurship is the only real path. The problem is that not all businesses are created equally. Some will have you burning thousands even before you see $1 in return. Which brings you to the next option, drop shipping. The passive income dream that never plays out like the gurus promise. In theory, it sounds incredible. No inventory, no warehouse costs, just find a winning product, run some ads, and print money. But the reality is simple. You spend weeks scrolling through AliExpress, trying to spot the next winning product, then you burn thousands on ads, praying you get a few sales, and if that happens, then the real nightmare starts. Your supplier is halfway across the world, shipping takes months, customers are pissed, demanding refunds, threatening chargeback, and your ad costs keep rising, your margins keep on shrinking, and you barely make any money. At best, you scrape together a few thousand a month with insane amounts of stress, and at worst, you lose money and you end up with a dead store. So no, dropshipping is not the cash printing machine you were once sold on. But maybe instead of selling products, you think selling software is the better play. So let's talk about that as well. SaaS, the tech bro fantasy. Building a software once and letting it print passive income forever sounds amazing, until you actually try it. Here's what really happens. You spend months building a product, either hiring developers for tens of thousands or struggling through no-code platforms yourself. Then you launch it and you realize nobody even cares, which forces you to desperately try to market it while burning cash on ads, PR, and outreach. You pray that people don't churn immediately because, unlike an agency, you don't get big upfront payments. You rely on tiny $50 a month subscriptions. And lastly, you drown yourself in customer support, dealing with angry users, bug reports, feature requests, endless maintenance. And the worst part of all this is that even if you build something amazing, you're still competing with VC-backed giants that will burn millions just to dominate the market. I know this because I co-founded a VC-backed SaaS company that raised over $1 million, and we still failed. And so at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, so jobs suck, dropshipping sucks, and SaaS seems to suck as well, so what about an agency? After all, everyone and their dog has an agency these days, right? So let's break down the most hyped business model in the online space, SMMA. You've probably seen dozens of videos from so-called SMMA gurus before landing here. But let's be real, how many pure agencies do you actually see pulling in over 100K a month just from client revenue? Not from stacking extra revenue streams like affiliates and courses, just agency work. Exactly. Hardly any. And I know it because we've done it. I built an SMMA to $70,000 per month and we still shut it down. Why? Because the model is effectively broken. The game has changed. What worked 5 years ago doesn't work now. And if you're thinking of starting an agency, or if you're already part of one but stuck in the mud, you need to hear this. The SMMA model has three massive flaws. Firstly, client acquisition is a nightmare. Cold emails, DMs, and ads, they used to work. Now they're ignored or added to a pile of spam. Everyone's selling the same rinsed offers with the same ridiculous guarantees to the same market, which means that prices will naturally tank. Clients are flooded with options and almost always choose the cheapest agency. So you'll get undercut unless you're offering insane guarantees, which can easily backfire. And lastly, it's a churn and burn game. Even when you do sign clients, they don't stay for very long. They drop you as soon as results drop and in-house their marketing efforts, or they even decide to go with the cheaper agency. As a result, you're constantly scrambling to replace lost clients, you're stuck in survival mode, and scaling feels impossible. So if you're looking for a real, sustainable path to $10,000 per month or more, SMMA isn't it. At this point, we've broken down why most paths to $10,000 per month are flawed. Okay, if jobs suck, dropshipping is a gamble, SaaS is a nightmare, and SMMA is broken, what's actually working in 2025? The question is, what does a dream business actually look like? Let's reverse engineer it. If you want to hit $10,000 per month and beyond without running into the same problems that kill most businesses, you need something that checks all of these right boxes. Easy to start, no coding, no advanced skills needed, low startup cost. You shouldn't need $10,000 up front just to get going. Fast cash flow. You should be making money within weeks, not months. High margins, so you actually keep what you earn, and no market saturation, so you're not fighting over scraps. Sounds perfect, right? Well, that's exactly what I found. A business model where client acquisition is never an issue. In fact, at our level, we even get to choose who we work with, which is something unheard of in SMMA, where you're just begging for any paying client. Pricing is never an objection. We can charge $50,000 to $100,000 up front, plus commissions on the back end, because we're in an underserviced market with virtually no competition. And lastly, and probably my favorite, is that clients actually respect you. They stick with you for years because they see the value you bring and they understand that that is undeniable. Unlike dropshipping, where customers practically hate you for slow shipping and bad service. And the best part is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. At its core, this business is still about one thing: putting the right buyer in front of the right seller. The same fundamental marketing and sales principle which would apply for any business you try to start, just executed in a way that actually scales. And that brings us to the deal broker model. Now, I know what you think. All right, Bernardo, sounds great, but what's the actual business model? This is where it gets interesting. See, after scaling my agency to $70,000 per month, I realized I was still trapped. The business owned me. I needed a model that would let me leverage my expertise in marketing and sales while allowing me to charge 15 to 25 times more per client. And that also allowed me to build long-lasting relationships with the people I was providing the service to. And at that point, I decided to shut down my agency and I founded Avalanche Capital, a firm built on the deal broker thesis. What we did was we applied our marketing and sales expertise, in this case cold email marketing, in a market that would allow us to generate much more value and in return get paid much more. Now we charge 50 to 100K up front, we take a 2 to 5% commission on the back end, and in some cases we even take equity in the businesses we work with by helping funds and startups raise money. The commissions may not seem like much, but when you're dealing with clients who transact in tens of millions, if not hundreds, you can see how that adds up very, very fast. It's also worth mentioning that fundraising is the avenue we decide to take, but you can make the same amount of money in a different underserviced industry by following this exact model. So if you stick with me until the end, I'll go over how you can find those industries and create offers for them. In the meantime, I'll also ask you to click the like button and subscribe this video if you're enjoying it so far. And I can't stress this enough. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. You're still leveraging marketing and sales to 1, get clients, and 2, fulfill for those clients. And this hits home for prospects because most companies in these antiquated industries are great at delivering their service, but they're practically invisible. They're missing the exposure needed to actually close deals. And the only way to fix that is with marketing and sales. So instead of signing dozens of low-value clients, we work with just a handful of elite businesses and make way more money with way less effort. And before you start thinking, but Bernardo, I don't have experience in finance or big deals, you don't need it. After proving this model works for ourselves, we took it a step further. We built a program designed to do 2 things: help aspiring entrepreneurs see financial success fast and help people already running a business pivot into something that actually scales. No fluff, no recycled advice, just a clear path to real repeatable results. And the results from the guys working with us are like nothing else you've seen before. We have 2 brothers who are still in university, aged 18 and 19, pulling in $60,000 per month, raising over $90 million for tech startups, and projected to collect $4 million in commissions this year alone. We have 2 business partners who made $385K in cash collected within their first 90 days of working on real estate deals. And very recently, 2 members of ours also closed a $13 million oil and gas deal where they'll make over $300,000 from commissions alone once finalized, as well as many other of our clients and members who are signing deals on a weekly basis, which I'll pop up on the screen right now for you to see. And the beauty of this process is that it's pretty straightforward. You'll research underserviced companies in an upmarket environment where there's a high CAGR and a high TAM and large deal size ultimately, which, by the way, can all be done with ChatGPT and with your own deductions. Then you'll need to identify what they need the most. Do they need to raise capital? Do they need to distribute their products at scale? Do they need high-paying clients outside of their network? And after crafting your offer, you need to craft documentation that speaks directly to their pain points, a video sales letter and a pitch deck, for example. And when it comes to signing clients, you'll reach out to them via cold outreach through email and LinkedIn, and you'll communicate the value you bring and how you help them solve that problem. You'll give them context as to why you're qualified to help, and lastly, you'll give them a clear CTA, either to book a call with you or to receive more information. And when it comes to sales, you focus on listening to their pain points and understanding their markets. You simply pick out on things that they mentioned they're struggling with, and you communicate how your process solves those. And when you close a client, you're going to apply inside their business the same infrastructure you just leveraged for yourself. You help them with their marketing documentation, and you make sure it's in line with the prospects they're seeking. You take this information to market through cold outreach, and in the same way you close clients for your own company, and you help them communicate with prospects to mitigate any holdbacks and ensure that the deal is closed. And because these are established companies with a validated product or service, there is not much testing, just execution. And if you're still concerned about fulfillment, just stick with me until the end and I'll give you access to a resource that will make the whole picture much clearer. Now, you may be thinking, how easy will it be to sign clients? Because one of the things I did mention initially was that it was very difficult, almost impossible, to penetrate new markets with cold outreach, cold DMs, or even cold calling. But what you do need to take into consideration is that it's not about who you're pitching to, but it's about what you're pitching to these people. Take two contrasting situations, for example. Let's say you're looking to go after an e-commerce store and pitch them with client acquisition via paid ads. They probably get pitched with that 4 to 5 times a day. So your email will probably just land on red. Now imagine that you're proposing to help connect these businesses and these business owners with investors looking to deploy capital in their industry and at their stage. Very different conversation. The vehicle itself remains the same, but with a different offer. This will completely change how you communicate with prospects. And that's how we went from booking 4 to 5 calls a week when we were running our marketing agency to last year alone having booked 927 calls. And so everything in this model has been carefully constructed to make the client acquisition process as smooth as possible. Firstly, you're reaching out to companies in industries where there is much more demand than supply for, meaning that they need you and not the other way around. And secondly, because you're charging a setup fee plus a commission instead of a never-ending retainer, it signals to them that you're in fact committed to their success and you're not just here for a quick cash grab. Now, you may be asking yourself, if your main business is doing so well, then why would you start a program like this to teach it and essentially create more competition for yourself? Extremely valid question. And the truth is, we're doing this purely for selfish reasons. As I mentioned a few times in this video, the path to scaling with the deal broker model is not to take on 100 clients. And we also follow that rule. The goal of this program is simple: to build a community. By growing a tight-knit network, we can close deals faster and tap into more opportunity. Over time, we want members of this community to evolve into our partners, and we will take stakes in those companies, which leads to the end goal of putting this under one holding company and exiting for $100 million. That is the master plan. And as promised, I'm going to give all of you watching this video a little something. I understand that this has been a lot of information to digest, and so to give you a clear path on how to start a business with a deal broker model and scale this to 10, 50, or even 100K per month and beyond, you can click on the link in the description and join our free school community with an hour-long breakdown broken into a model overview, free marketing, deal generation, and fulfillment. This alone will completely shift the way you see online business. If you're serious about financial freedom, this is the fastest, most scalable way to get there. And as always, I'll see you at the top.